Hey everyone, I want to welcome you to my Stam Sorc guide. We're going to be covering medium armor, heavy armor options with a variety of specialty weapons on our back bar. So this may take a little bit longer than the normal build video, but I hope that we cover a variety of options that's going to best suit your playstyle. So let's get right into the gear. So for gear, we're going to start out with 7th Legion. This is going to be our main set that we base all the different variations off of. The reason for that is because of the 5th piece. When we cast an ability to increase our physical or spell resistance, we're going to gain the weapon damage and the health recovery. Since we're able to just one bar our our resistance buff, we can go ahead and drop that off of the back bar and run specialty weapons. Now, the specialty weapons you choose can be solely up to your playstyle and how you want to run it. Currently, I'm using the Master Swords to get the increased bleed damage off of Twin Slashes. I'm using the Morph Blood Crazed so I can go ahead and get the additional ticks of healing. That helps proc our monster set Troll King with its health recovery. However, if you want to play the build more defensively, you can always switch to the Black Rose to get that major protection. It's really good to be able to time that when you see large bursts coming in, people loading up their rotation on you, to be able to get that 30% for 3 seconds is actually really good. I haven't gotten my perfected versions to drop yet, so that's why these are just in purple and off trait. Of course, you also have the option of running the Master Bow. If you want to add ranged attacks to your build, then this is a great option to line up and build up your burst. Now, this is also our medium armor setup. So we're starting with Briarheart. This is designed more for group play. And then again, we're setting it up so we're receiving the passive healings. Everything in Impenetrable. And for our jewelry, we do run 1 infused with the reduced cost, and then 2 weapon damage. As far as skills go, our back bar is going to have a couple different options and setups. So if you are running the Master Swords, you'll have your Blood Craze here. If you're going to run the Black Rose Prison, then you would put in your Deadly Cloak. And you pair that with the Whirling Blades. With Briarheart and group play, we're going to be getting a lot of AoE damage and a lot of chances to proc Briarheart. So the more we can do that, the better our build is. Now, if you're going to run Master Bow, then I put in Draining Shot to give me a knockback, to also heal, and Poison Arrow to get the proc for all the additional damage. Now, as far as the rest of our skills go, we're using the Atro ulti for this passive to increase our health and stamina recovery by 20%. This is huge when we have Troll King procced and we're using our streaks to get away on our defensive bar as well. So not only is it a great thing that we can drop in line of sight to fight, but the additional bonus is huge. Then of course we're running Crit Surge to go ahead and get the major brutality, but also all the additional heals when we crit. It's again, pairs really well with the Briarheart set. Dark deal, so we just don't have to worry about our stamina regen. We can just grab it whenever we want. And streak. On our front bar, we start with crit rush. Since it's always a crit, it's always a guaranteed chance to try to proc the Briarheart. Our resolving vigor for our heal. Our hurricane to proc our 7th Legion brute. Reverse slice for our execute. Dizzy and swing. For the ulti, you can really pick what you want to run here. If you want onslaught, it's really powerful right now to be able to ignore our target's resistance and then gain all that as penetration for the next 11 seconds. I think once it's fully leveled, it's 12 seconds. That's really great this patch. You can also still use the Flawless Dawnbreaker if you want, and kind of lead out with it to help get the extra increased damage for 20 seconds. Okay, so if you want to move away from a medium armor setup and go into heavy armor, switch your Briarheart out for reactive. Run all your reactive pieces in impenetrable. Basically what you'll be doing is switching out 2 weapon criticals for a stam recovery and a max health, and then you lose the heal and the increased weapon damage off of your 5th piece to become a lot more defensible, with reducing your damage by 35% whenever you have a disabling effect on you. If you combine that with the Black Rose dual wield ability, you have the opportunity to mitigate a ton of damage when you need to. So one of the great things with this build when you run it in heavy armor, yes, you're going to get the extra resistance, but the increased health recovery is huge, especially since we're talking about having Troll King procs. We have the health recovery from 7th Legion Brute. We're getting it off of our food as well. When you combine that with the fact that you're getting all the additional health bonus as well, you're going to be able to have Troll King procced more often from a safer health standpoint. It's really going to increase your survivability. For our food, it's definitely the Artaeum takeaway broth. Get the max stam, max health, but also the stam and health recovery is phenomenal for this build. When it comes to the Mundus, there's 2 options here. If you're going to be running the Onslaught build, then run the Warrior Mundus. If you're not going to be using Onslaught and you're going to be using Flawless Dawnbreaker, then go ahead and switch out the weapon damage for the penetration. One of the things that really helps this build survive is this particular potion. So you get your 10,000 health restored immediately, you get your 20% health recovery, your stamina restore, but also we're restoring 1,100 health per second for 48 seconds. This will also proc Troll King and is a huge benefit to the survivability of this build. So the main 2 race options that I have for this build would be either a Orc, if you want to play a very athletic, mobile character with high damage. It's a great, fun way to play. And a Nord. to be a little bit more resilient and to have that extra alt gen if that fits your playstyle better. Alright, for our champion points, we're going to start out with 48 into Ironclad, 22 into Spell Shield, 48 into Resistant, 56 into Thick Skin, 37 and 37 into Elemental Defender and Hardy, and 22 into Heavy Armor. Now, of course, if you're going into the medium armor build, go ahead and put it in those 22 points into medium armor. 51 into Warlord, 19 into Sprinter, 37 into Arcanist, 56 and 56 into our Stam Recovery and Health Recovery, and 51 into Tumbling. 72 into Master of Arms, 7 into Shattering Blows, 34 into Thaumaturge, 51 into Precise Strikes, 57 into Piercing, and 49 into Mighty. And that'll do it, guys. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. If you like the content, please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell for future notifications and builds. Thanks for your time.